Hi, my name's Glenn. This is Karen, my wife, and this is our bus. Hello everybody, Glenn Denman here, working on the bus again. Of course, what else would I be doing? So I'm out in my shop and I'm working on installing my new solar panels. So I've got 4 solar panels that are, I believe, 39 inches wide and 39 inches wide and 65 inches long. And these panels are 305 watt panels at 39 volts. So I've got 4 of them, and I'm going to, my overall system would be a 24 volt system. So basically I'll have wires going from the roof down through into the bay that'll be sized accordingly for a 24 volt system, which the wires there can be a little bit smaller because it's a little bit higher voltage. And so anyway, so that's what I'm working on. And with these 4 panels, actually this is just really kind of a starter set. When I say starter set, I don't mean they sell them as a starter set. I'm just saying that these 4 panels would be my initial setup. But I'm definitely contemplating getting 4 more of these and installing on the bus in another place. These 4 panels will, well, it's too dark out there now, but anyway, I thought maybe there was some light out there. But these 4 panels will mount from the rear roof hatch to the rear of the bus. So I'll have them 2 lengthwise on each side, and then I'll have about an 8-inch space in between them so that I can at least, you know, walk down the middle to clean them. And basically the gap in between will be lined up right in the middle and almost up against the rear hatch. So when I open the hatch, the panels will be right there, so I can get out there and clean the panels and things like that, because you want to keep the panels as clean as you can, because that affects how much power you're going to get out of them. So what I've got here going here is I've got a bunch of aluminum stuff that's just left over from, well, I used to be a tin man. I used to build patio covers and window awnings and things like that. So this is just some scrap stuff that I've kept around the shop, and now it's time to use it up. So these 2 pieces here, this piece right here and this piece here, are going to be the 2 main runners going from the roof hatch to the back of the bus, and those will be the main supports. And then these other pieces here, these are some 2-inch by about 1-inch. This is all extruded material, by the way. These are 2-inch by about 1-inch channel aluminum. It's kind of a specialty channel. It's got some other stuff in it, but anyway. These pieces will go from this piece to that piece as a kind of a grid work. And then these by themselves, because these will be 86 inches long each one going across, but it will be supported also in the center. So the outsides will be supported by some brackets that I'll build up where the curvature of the roof is. The center of these will be resting on the bus roof at the peak of the roof, and then of course we'll go over to the other side. So this is it's some pretty nice extruded aluminum. These 2 main runners, they're about a 2 1/8 inch channel, and by about 1.5 inches or so tall. And basically these 2-inch pieces here will actually, this 2-inch stuff here will actually fit inside that channel. So it'll fit inside and go across. And I only have enough for 4 of them. So basically I'll have 1 at each end, 2 in the middle, not in the middle, but well, 2 towards the center to give the panels a good area of support. So I should be able to build this whole rack set up for these 4 panels, and then take the whole thing and just put it up on the roof of the bus in one piece. and then I'll have to fabricate my brackets that'll go down and mount to the bus roof itself once I have it kind of sitting up there, so I'll be able to size that stuff up. So anyway, so that's what I'm working on here, and it's kind of late at night now, Saturday night, but I'll be working on it pretty much all day Sunday. And so so that'll be my project here for this weekend. So hopefully I'll be able to at least get this framework built up on the roof of the bus. I won't get all the panels on, of course, by tomorrow, but at least I'll have something to speak for there. So anyway, so we'll see how those videos go. Okay, so I've got the rack pretty much assembled here. So what I've done here, just to kind of give some, show everybody what I had in mind, is this right now is upside down. So these screws will be on the bottom and up in the air. So I put silicone between all the parts and where the screws go through. It just kind of helps, kind of works like a Loctite setup. So it just kind of helps keep everything together, and so things don't just start vibrating loose. So I'll probably even do a little bit more than that before I install it. but I'm not ready to do that just yet. So the way this is here is the first two panels that'll sit on here will go from about 1 inch past this piece here to the middle of this piece. And this piece here just happened to be just shiny aluminum. I didn't have any more of the white stuff. And matter of fact, this whole thing is really about 9 inches short to completely supporting the panels. But it'll be fine because the end panels will hang off 9 inches past the end, and it'll be fine. So anyway, so when it's flipped over, then the top side won't have any screws at the ends, because once it's sitting, if you can envision it being upside down without screws, the panels are going to set all the way up to the edge here. So they'll set up to the edge, and then I'll devise some brackets that'll go up the side and then over the top, and maybe put some rubber pillow blocks in between, just to keep vibration down, keep them from banging around, and then those panels will be fastened down really nice like that. So with these pieces, being that these are all channel pieces, then this piece here, or this end here, will be at the roof hatch. So the back of the bus will be in that direction to the back. So I arranged the panel, or these pieces, these channels, all the way down through, so they're on the so they're sticking out on the back wind side. But anyway, so the wind isn't just going right into the channel. It's actually up against the flat side of each one. And then also these pieces, they have they're extruded, and they have a kind of a unique shape to them. These pieces actually here are for a screen porch, is what this is intended to be. So this bottom part is a little bit stronger than the top part because it has extra extruded metal in here. So I put that to where that'll be on the bottom by the time this is flipped over. So that'll be what's called the tension side of the piece. Not that that's probably going to matter a lot anyway, because when I flip this thing over, then I'm going to have this piece here, which is even different than all these other ones. This piece here is actually going to be mounted all the way down the center ridge of the bus. So that'll be going down the middle of this whole thing. So it'll be fastened at each point all the way down the middle. And then this side here, or the two sides, will be above the curvature of the side. So those will have 3 supports, one at each end and one in the middle. So there'll be 6 supports total on the outsides, and then 5 supports, I suppose, in the middle. So it should be pretty solid. And then by the time the panels are set in place and fastened to this, then the whole thing will be like basically one big unit. And then again, I'll have a space down the middle so I can walk down the middle and clean the panels, things like that. So this should work out pretty good. What I'll be doing next is, in the daylight of course, is I'll set this thing up on the roof, just kind of size it up, and size it up for my my supports that'll be sitting on the bus itself. So okay, so I'm getting ready to take my rack. It's now that it's daylight again, finally. I'm gonna go ahead and take this rack here that I built and put it up on the roof of the bus. It's pretty cold out this morning. The roof of the bus is covered with frost, so I will not be getting on the roof, but I will be taking this rack and scooting it up there so that I can size up the brackets for the sides and see how that goes. So anyway, we'll go ahead and get started on that. Okay, so I've got this kind of put together here. I've got a prototype here put together of how this is going to mount to the roof. So basically this is all extruded aluminum. This is some pretty heavy stuff. It probably could be a little bit heavier. So again, that's why it's a prototype. But my thinking here is this will mount to the bus at the angle that it would be with the roof, and that'll mount actually on top of the right over the ribs of the bus. So with the MCI coach, the roof of the bus doesn't really have a lot of rivets on it. When I say the MCI, I mean older MCIs probably do, but this is a 2002 MCI, and I'll go ahead and just show you that real quick here. So there's only 2 rivets on each side, so there's a huge overlap here. So this overlap is pretty much over the rib down below, so it's real thick. It's double thick here with the roof material, plus you have, of course, the rib and everything down below. So I'm going to capitalize on that, and I'm thinking about actually drilling these out and threading the holes, and then bolting down the bracket. So the bracket, of course, this isn't perfectly flat, so I'll have enough membrane under the bracket to compensate for the little bit of an angle. So the brackets will mount actually where I've got this mark. The brackets mount here. So I'll have 3 brackets on each side, and then I might even be able to put an additional one in between, even though there's not a whole lot of strength, just for some extra stabilization and for extra holding down for wind or when you're driving and things like that. So it should be a pretty solid mounting. And again, I don't have any money at all into this entire rack. It was just materials that I've had laying around, and these materials are kind of expensive if you have to go buy this stuff. So at least I've got an idea of how this is going to work. If I need to get some kind of different materials or something, I certainly will. But for now, I think this is going to work good. So basically what this is about a 2 1/4 inch or so channel that'll mount to the roof. And then this is some more channel that I had. This is actually 2 pieces here. So I've cut it at the angle of the bracket, so it'll be a nice solid fit down to the bottom. And then this is actually doubled, so it should provide lots of strength. And of course the piece on the roof will actually sit in here like so. And then I'll be able to fasten that to it, and it'll be nice and solid for weight. I've got some other things I'm working on to deal with the lateral. When I say lateral, I mean so that, because this may not give me a whole lot of strength in this direction. It gives me a lot of strength vertically, up and down, gravity load, but there may need to be some lateral taken care of. This will actually be pretty good laterally, but what I also plan to do is this rack here will be supported on the sides and in the middle. So these panels are 40 pounds each. So basically with 40 pounds, I'll have 20 pounds will be on one side where the brackets are, 20 pounds on the other side where it'll be mounted to the roof in the middle continuously. So really there's not that much weight. There's only 60 pounds total on one side all the way down. Of course, when you're bouncing down the road, things like that, there's some kind of a calculation out there I've heard years ago where you can kind of, there's a, you know, it's not like these are just sitting up there. I mean, when you're driving down the road, this thing's bouncing along, and that weight is compounding every time you hit a bump and things like that. But I'm pretty confident that this will be plenty strong. For the middle part, I'm gonna have this piece here, which is another piece of aluminum channel. This is gonna mount down the entire ridge of the bus. Matter of fact, that hole at the end is so it'll accommodate one of the rivets at the back. So it sits flat on the roof. And so by the time it's in, this is gonna be mounted like so. So this new rack will sit on top of this. This will be glued down and fastened down to the roof. The rack will sit on top of that. And then every point where the cross members meet, I will just simply put another piece of the same material over the top. Basically, another piece of this will just fit right over the top, fasten in on both sides at that point, so that it'll be fastened to this at the middle of each one of those cross members. So this should be pretty stout. It's light and it's stout. So, and then once the panels are on there, of course, I'll have to figure out how I'm gonna mount those onto that, which shouldn't be too difficult. So that's what I've got going. But the problem is that I have now, I won't be able to really finish this thing on this video because of the fact that we're still getting quite a bit of frost. The roof's covered with frost right now. It may not be now, the sun's been out, but I don't want to use a bunch of adhesives and things like that, and because they probably won't cure. It's about the first week of February right now, so I'm hoping maybe by March or April I'll be able to actually mount this thing up on the roof. So that's all I have for now. I'll be doing a little bit more of my fabricating on it, but for now, that's all I'm gonna have until I can actually mount this thing on the roof. So that's the project on attempting to build a rack for my solar panels up on the roof. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care.